Ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it again, and it is a topic that you're all familiar with on the channel, and it is a topic that you're all probably very excited to hear more about, and that is crash outs, specifically Hoyoverse crash outs, because there's been a crash out so crazy that there's official censorship from both the Wuthering Waves and every single Hoyoverse Games account. You can see it over here. We've actually got a prominent HSR leaker. No leaks over here, though nobody's playing the game anymore, so it doesn't really matter, right? All Hoyo's games and the Wuwa official account are limited to only followers who have followed for at least 7 days to comment. This is basically to ensure that your pages don't get spammed by new accounts or, obviously, people that aren't actually fans of your game or IP, aka anti-brigading. By ensuring that there's 7 days of follow time history, you can sort of clean stuff up, right? Especially from bad actors. And that's all on Bilibili. And as we all know, Bilibili, guys, this is all in Chinese, but Bilibili is like the Chinese version of like YouTube and Twitter at the same time. I'm not even gonna go so low as to say Bilibili is like just YouTube. It's like Twitter too, because they got like their own threads that go viral as well. So it's kind of like a discussion forum as well as a place to watch videos. So that's why accounts on Bilibili are so important. They're like a company in globally, right? It's like their Twitter account. You pay attention if that account makes an announcement, or at least I do, especially when it comes to these games. And you can see Wuwa did it over here. So did Genshin. So did HSR. So did Zenless. So did Honkai Nexus Anima, and whatever the that thing is. I have no fucking clue what that is, but like maybe somebody can tell me. So naturally, you're probably wondering how this situation occurred, right? Because the Genshin and the Wuthering Waves fan bases have been essentially at each other's throats for the latter half of like the past 2, 3, 4 years, maybe even the past decade, even before Wuthering Waves came out. And the thing is, this might be the first time this has ever occurred before. And so you might be thinking, dude, truly, something crazy has occurred. Maybe Solon Lee did get assassinated. Maybe Da Wei got sent a pipe bomb from Kurobots. Right? And so the news has broken CN, and that's why they're pissing and shitting on each other in comment sections to the point where Bilibili and the administrative forces need to get involved, right? Clearly something crazy occurred. But guys, don't worry, we got the context. We got the full breakdown, and you too can truly find out why this drama has occurred and why people needed to take such big actions. Are you ready for this? We got a TLDR, guys. And don't worry, we got all the examples. We got plenty more. We're diving right through it so you can see how this situation is. That's just the right word to use. Wuthering Waves released their Yang Yang Zhuanling combat showcase. So the video that they're talking about literally is like a regular ass video that Wuthering Waves does for every fucking character. You can see every unit has, aside from like maybe the first couple, they have their combat showcase, which essentially, right, starts off with like a little 2D animation. They did a really good job with this one, by the way. W advertisement. And then it just gets into how their kit looks in game. They do like some of their attacks and moves, all of that stuff, blah, blah, blah. It's very nice. Then we get a preview of Dead People. That's not nice. That got released. And so you might be wondering, how does something like that turn into drama? How does something like that turn into every account needs to be, like, there needs to be a follow day set, follow day limit set, all of that. Guys, this would be like hearing World War III started because the iPhone 11 got released. That's a similar headline. Chinese players on Bilibili censored across 10 plus gacha games, billions of players, because Wuthering Waves released a combat showcase. Yeah, no, World War III starting from an iPhone is basically the same fucking thing, right? Because the From 2 doesn't make sense. But then this is what happened. Hoyo players started brigading with gore images because they found out a few voice lines from the combat showcase are similar to ones from a Genshin Impact character. That's the breakdown, guys. So there were voice lines that were similar because Yang Yang is a wind, is like all about the wind. Birds, the wind rises, blah, 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 all of that, right? You guys know what's you guys know how combat voice lines in games work. And because this unit apparently had voice lines that seemed similar to a Genshin Impact characters, this was the, well, you can see all the stuff that's censored over here. I imagine that's because it's like dead animals and body parts and shit like that. Like that's what was done. And so apparently Wuthering Waves players then got mad in return and countered with their own. Which is like, hey, it's like a he, she, they, who started it sort of situation. Obviously, like, everyone's a little bit crazy over here, but this is kind of like the thing, right? This is like a, like, trial by combat, except instead of combat, you send your most retarded representative out to, like, take a swing. And so, it's like, they sent their retards out, then we sent our retards out. Does that make sense? Because you gotta, like, fight fire with fire. You know what I mean? I'm not approving of this, but like, you know, it is what it is. This is like another summary of it. Don't worry, we're gonna get into the rundown later. We're just going with the cliff notes. But that's probably the best way that I could describe this, right? Is clearly there's one very, very, very stupid force that's doing this, and then there's one stupid force that's responding. They're both dumb as hell. Just pretend that like part at the top doesn't exist. This is basically just it. That's like a representative of the situation. And then Bilibili has to go in, get involved, right? And then just censor everybody. Because when there's too many retarded people causing problems for everybody, everyone's going to have to suffer to cause... I mean, think about it this way. Like, legitimately. You're in a classroom, and then, like, one kid gets up, starts pooping everywhere, and then, like, grabs his poo, and then starts fighting another kid with it. And then the other kid grabs his own poo and starts... You got to close down the school. It's just two people fighting, but you got to close down the whole school, right? I'm being legitimate here. If you got players of either game spamming gore to each other in comment sections, that's like the internet equivalent of like two retards throwing poo at each other publicly. And there's just poo getting everywhere. And so like, people are just like, bro, this is like, we can't have them just here in the main hall slinging shit at each other for like hours. We got to close everything down. And that is truly the most accurate depiction of this situation that I can think of. Because they're both leading to the same thing. Censorship, inability to do the things that maybe we wanted to do that day. And naturally, there's a lot of details missing over here. But that's why we started with the TLDR first, so that we could actually get a bit of a rundown. So now, let's see the first instance. Oh, did everything start from this? And so somebody's actually got the actual gameplay clips. And so you can see on the right, we got Kazuha from Genshin Impact. Doo-doo-doo.
明朝泱泱贤灵，1分钟视频用了原神4句台词，还同样射箭开头，不敢说。听屏风的指引，听屏风引。
So that's the first one.
听屏风引，听屏风引。
It's a random voice line from Jean's like fucking like Ascension 17 passive.
听屏风的指引。
So, Yang apparently has said the words that 4 different Genshin Impact characters have said before. They're not even the same, but it's like now Hoyo owns Chinese, I guess. Hoyo invented the wind. Hoyo invented the Chinese dialect in China and like Mandarin. And, bro, I don't... Guys, that is the root cause. Kafu? Seriously? You copyrighted Kafu? Bro, that's 2 fucking syllables. Half the Chinese people's names are 2 syllables. That's not even racist because I know that's true. How are we getting to this mad over 2 syllables when half the people's names in China is Chen and like Li? Y'all copy each other's last names. But Kaofu is too much. What the fuck is wrong with you retards? Bro, I don't even know how... Bro, I'm sorry. This is so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous, bro. Bro, like, this is why I'm kind of crashing out. Because you... What? Dude, it's like somebody, like, getting mad because you use, like, the word the. Or, like, ground. Earth, wind, fire. Like, dude, like, what? I can't get it. I'll never understand it. But, of course... I'm trying to understand a Hoyo show. Let me see what this is. So, yeah, apparently there are, like, more people over here. This is a little bit of a rundown from somebody that's actually from China. Not long after the Yang Yang Zhuanling Battle PV came out, someone was already posting offensive images in the PV comment section. That's the beginning of everything. So it never actually started with Wuthering Waves players. Because that's the narrative that's like kind of spreading right now. There are Genshin accounts that are currently undergoing a massive amount of damage control. And through some of the threads, right, there are some situations where people are saying Wuthering Waves players are the ones that started everything. No, guys. That's truly not the case. Because apparently, again, what you're seeing over here is more and more of the same sort of like drama-causing stuff right under the Yang Yang PV. So that's like some misinformation regarding that. Oh, here we go. What's this? How stupid can you be to believe this? Yeah, okay, so there you go. That's just some reactions from the contemporary space regarding this. You could probably... I think everyone has the same take. This is the dumbest shit to get mad over ever. And what else do we got here? Oh, here we go. Now we got the official rundown. This is like the in-depth summary. At 11 a.m. on July 6, Wuwa released that combat PV, and one line of dialogue was identical to one from Kazuha. We probably seen the one. And within 5 minutes, massive wave of Genshin accounts flooded the section with gory graphic images of the character. These knee-jerk reactions assume that if Genshin used a phrase first, no other game could use it without it being labeled plagiarism. In reality, the line is a quote from a Song Dynasty poem, and Genshin was referencing it. So Genshin players were trying to bring... Okay, so the real source of this is Genshin did it first. Wuwa did the same thing Genshin did. Reference a Song Dynasty poem, which is like... Bro, the Song Dynasty was like hundreds, if not thousands of fucking years ago. And they're hating on the same reference because they're saying Genshin invented it. So Genshin players are essentially crediting Dewey for the achievements of his ancestors. Yeah, they're giving Dewey and Hoyoverse credit for the Song Dynasty's poems. This shit is embarrassing. Feeling provoked, Wuwa players retaliated that afternoon by posting similar attacks in Genshin's comment sections. Then the platform eventually disabled image uploads in the comments for both videos and restricted commenting to users, who of course had those 7 days. Then came the most dramatic, hilarious, and ironic twist. Wait, we need to see this part. The very next day, I haven't seen this yet, I don't think we have either. Players discovered that a Genshin character also had lines nearly identical to a Wuwa one. The kicker, the Genshin character was released after the Wuwa one, and 5 consecutive lines were practically the same. The phrase, "Hell upon my body," was actually first used by Wuwa. To date, no exact match for this phrase has been found in Genshin. Players immediately started mocking the toxic Genshin fanbase for blowing completely baseless plagiarism claims out of proportion, only to be caught plagiarizing Wuthering Waves themselves. Guys, let's see it. Let's see it. Where's the plagiarism at? Oh, it's Mortonak's Blade and Galbraida? That's what it is? Okay, so it's not a Genshin character, it's an HSR character. The famous MiHoYo eunuch. That's a crazy insult. The famous MiHoYo eunuch is spreading rumors again. Thanks, Game of Thrones, for letting us all know what that word means. Before Game of Thrones, none of you knew that this meant a guy that had both no dick and no balls. You didn't know that. Yeah, but afterwards you do. Is spreading rumors again. Also, Hoyo Cattle slops copy from Wuwa. But hey, rules for thee. Let's not forget how Hoyo Cattle's community have been bullying Wuwa players since day one. Oh, I don't know Chinese, but those letters are the same. And I bet Chinese ain't like English, where the words are spelled the same, but then sound different. So, yeah, there you go. Yeah, Mortonak's Blade actually does have, it looks like 5 very similar voice lines to Galbraina. Hey, guys, Hoyoshos, let's get it. Hey, let's get it, boys. Hey, where we at? Let's fall on our own swords right here, like metaphorically. Because this is kind of embarrassing, isn't it? Because you had to get 4 or 5 different Genshin characters. They all got 1 line each, and now you got an actual your own game, and it's just 1 other unit, and it's 5 lines. Which one's worse? Kaufa! I guess the final summary is this. We'll read just this last part because everything else seems the exact same. The retaliation and the attacks. A large number of MiHoYo fans pretend to be innocent bystanders in the comment sections. Their comments include, what happened? Is the other side losing their minds? The comment section is so scary. What happened? Oh, the other side's so crazy. Oh, so they're gaslighting. Okay, so the last step over here was for these retarded players who set gore over dumb shit like this. It's for them to start gaslighting and pretending that nothing happened in the first place and people are just crashing out. Yeah, they want you to believe the narrative. Wuwa players just had their Yang Yang Combat PV released, and now they're posting gore on Genshin videos for no reason. That's the narrative they wanted you guys to believe. Do you believe it? No, it sounds retarded. It makes no sense. Nobody would ever do that. People are not actually this crazy on Earth. Usually, things had to be done for a reason. And this, the gore attack in the first place, was done for a reason. It was just a really stupid one. As you can see, this situation is absurd. This situation is actually stupid. But in reality, this is kind of accurate, right? This basic little TLDR over here is pretty indicative to what actually went on. And I think the main sort of take is this. Genshin players tend to crash out in higher volumes at a very, very, very high rate when their game is really bad and Wuthering Waves is really good. And I think CN in particular is crashing out super hard because they're jealous. Main reason why I'm saying they're jealous is kind of like this. I bet they wish they got Mengzhou. I bet they're pissed that Wuwa is getting like a version of China that actually looks like fun and enjoyable to play. And these retards have dealt with Leeway, the Zhanzhou Pufu, and fucking Why Fail Peninsula. Bro, they're just dealing with all this dog shit representation of China in their games that is just shit and literally makes you, like, hate the game because it's so bad. And then Wuthering Waves gets fucking cinema, bro. And then, like, we just got cinema right after cinema before this. Like, we just had the Cyberpunk collab, Lahai, Roy, Night City, all of that, bro. And then we get, like, this. And I bet the Chinese people are looking at this and they're like, dude, Hoyoverse fucking sucks. But it's Wuwa sucks more. But it's so good, but I gotta find some way to make it suck. And I think that's the only way you can truly justify this level of response from the Hoyoverse community over something so small. They're just simply desperate to have any sort of way to one-up the company, and this is truly the only thing they have left. Allegations of plagiarism through this. That is the only leg, the only one-up, the only gotcha they have for Wuthering Waves, and so they're trying to milk it for as much as they can. But it's embarrassing, bro. Bro, this shit is cringe. Dude, this shit is sad. And all it does is it makes this fan base look desperate. But desperation's a really, really, really odd look on the face of, like, a captain who's just like, instead of leaving the ship, everyone's off board. These guys are just going down with the ship, even though everyone's already gotten off board. They're all on the lifeboats, moving on to different games. And then these guys are just like, fucking, bro, they're just watching it sink and trying to take every other fucking game down with them. This is HSR, bro. That was their anniversary, by the way. That was their 4.0, by the way. Literally on the most diabolical downtrend anyone's ever seen for a game. We just scroll down. Bro, it used to be pulling numbers like this. Bro, it used to be pulling numbers like, bro, remember these days? Holy moly, free money. Bro, this was this is my take. This was content creation on easy mode. Bro, people forget how easy content creation was during HSR's prime time. Bro, I'm pretty sure all you needed was a pulse and you could be a content creator during this era. And there are still some CCs like Mr. Pokey who are still like riding off of that success. But dude, shit was free low here. Actually, zero challenge. This is a zero diff career right here. Now you actually gotta work. Now you actually gotta work. Now you gotta focus up. Now stuff isn't given to you for fucking free. Right? Now stuff isn't given to you for free. And this is the reality of it, boys. When you don't get handouts. What a situation. And that's just one game. Bro, don't make me pull up Zenless Zone Zero. And of course, don't make me pull up Genshin. Guys, it's rough. It's rough being a Hoyoverse fan nowadays. Pull it up. Fuck it. All right, we'll pull up ZZZ. This is the thing. I know I have ZZZ fans in my chat, but I think they also know the game is fucked. Because I don't like talking shit about it that much, but they keep bringing it up, so like I have to. But this is ZZZ. Dude, what the fuck? Dude, this was your 3.0 update, and you're already back down here. It's doing better than HSR, though. Like unironically, ZZZ is doing better than HSR. And you know ZZZ's not... Nobody's gonna look at ZZZ right now and say it's doing good, but it's doing better than HSR. Right? Does anyone actually think this game is doing good right now? No, it's 3.0 really fell under expectations. Like, it truly did fall so far below where everyone projected it was going to, and it's fucked. It truly is. Like, they did not expect it to chart out this badly. Now we gotta go to Genshin. And this is the reality over here that I want to tell you guys about Genshin. Genshin is always going to be at the top, simply due to the fact that it is, without a doubt, bro, this is like, when you look at this is literally like 4 or 5 times as much as the max of any other gacha game. Just so you know, the peak viewers that you see over here, nearly 500,000 on Twitch, bro. No game is ever gonna get like, bro, like I don't even know how like games even got here. This is so ridiculous of a number. 600k consecutive viewers, huh? But then you look at now, guys. Look at the start. Look at here. That is a downtrend. Okay, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to see that this is a massive fucking downtrend. Can we all agree on that? That is like, bro, you don't need you don't need a degree. You can see that that's like a slope. That's a -1 slope. And that's Genshin. It's just been bleeding players since, I think effectively, it's been bleeding players since about, what was that? Oh, that was right as Fontaine started. So it's kind of just been bleeding players since, well, Fontaine ended. Which makes sense because the game went to shit after Fontaine ended. Well, woo-wah. Guys, you ready? Wuthering Waves is like the only game that has seen growth, while every other game's in shit. And yes, we do see a Thanos snap here. That's because we're 8 days into the end of this patch, and then the update is tomorrow. So we've only had 9 days of July with literally no content, and that's where we've been at through those 9 days, and the patch is tomorrow. But as you can see, up and up and up. That's rough though, right? Especially when you see the downtrend that every other game is having. So does this crash out now? This absurd response, all of that. Wuthering Waves literally feels like it's soloing all of Hoyoverse's games at once. And I think the fact that we literally see, this is the funniest part. It's just Woo-Wah here, and then literally Hoyo needs to respond with 5 of their pages. One Woo-Wah page versus 5 Hoyo pages. That is like, literally 1v5ing, bro. Bro, you're literally getting 1v5'd. I just find that hilarious. That's where this gacha space has evolved. Woo-Wah is literally 1v5ing them. Holy shit. What a complete defeat. Because guys, when it's one community against 5, and the fight has to be broken up, the side with more people lost. That's just how it works. If it ends in a draw, the side with more people actually lost. Because 5 of you are equal to 1 of the other guy. It's just that simple. Let me know what you all thought about our coverage of this situation today. Peace out.